What's going on, YouTubers? This is Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today I wanted to start a new segment on the channel and talk about some of the books that are coming up the first quarter of 2019 that I'm going to purchase. I'm not going to hit each one of the books on the list, but talk about some of the highlights of the books that I know I'm going to get. I'd love to know what you guys are going to purchase, so don't forget to leave those comments down below. And yes, I'm usually the guy behind the camera, so these are my hands that you're probably used to seeing in the point of view videos. This is why I probably am behind the camera. Anyway, so stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. First of all, you may be wondering why I have this here. Well, that's because the book is coming back into print, and also because the table felt empty, because I'm going to be showcasing the art right here. I needed something here. So, yes, this book is coming back into print sometime in the summertime. This is Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. It will not be this thick, because this is the first printing of it. And I usually like to get the variant versions of these books, so the DM version is usually what they will reprint. This is the 4th time they've reprinted this book, so if you've missed out on it, it's time to purchase it if you've been interested in the material. Hopefully they'll reprint volumes 2 and 3 after this. So let's get started with January. We've already had some. I hope you guys got your Conan books and you were able to get the Barry Windsor-Smith DM cover. If not, I'm sure there's going to be jerks out there that are selling theirs for third-party prices. So let's start with next week, with January 23rd. Now, usually I do this with Omnibros. We do it on a weekly basis on Mondays. We talk about the books coming up this week. But this is from January until March, so this is a little bit different. And these are the books I know I'm getting. Okay, so right off the bat, on January 23rd, the book I see here, I'll probably pass up on Extermination, which is the X-Men event. It was a 5-issue miniseries, and this collects all 5 issues. Even though it's a big event, I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that it will get collected later on in a hardcover. Passing on the New Mutants by Abnett and Lanning, because I have those. Let's move on to DC. Here's a book I'm definitely getting, which I've talked about. This is Nightwing Volume 3. This is the deluxe edition, and I've showcased my deluxe editions before, but this has issues 29 through 43, and the last of the Tim Seeley stuff, so pretty excited about that. Now here's a question for you guys, though. I'm really curious about this Battle Pug book, the Compugnum. It's kind of silly to say that, but I have never read it, and just the cover piques my interest. And the fact that it's all collected in one, it's done by Mike Norton. So, is it any good? Have you guys ever read this? Because I'm going to go into it with a blind buy, and I don't know if it's any good. It just looks ridiculous and something that I must own. Moving on to the week of January 30th. Let's see what we have for Marvel. And I'll probably pass up on the Weapon X. Hey, big guy. Volume 5, Exiles Volume 2. I didn't really dig those series. New X-Men. Childhood and Complete Collection. Get that if you don't own it. They've been out of print for many, many years. I own those, so that's why I'm not getting it. And they are some of the best stories told by Colin Yost outside of the Uncanny X-Men run. They're the guys that went on to do X-Force. But yes, that is an awesome story. We also have X-Men Unstoppable. This is the Joe Casey run leading up to the Chuck Austin run, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's the Chuck Austin run. Ugh. If you're interested in why that's known as one of the worst X-Men comics, this is your chance to get it. The original trade paperbacks have been out of print for years, and this fits right after the X-Corps trade paperback that came out back in 2013, I think. And right before the Chris Claremont stuff that they've been reprinting. So this is the way to do it. This collects Uncanny X-Men 410 to 424 and X-Men Unlimited 44 through 45. Son of a bitch. That's 2 issues I didn't get before in the original trade paperback, so my dumbass might get that retail price of $40. All right, maybe. Maybe I might get that. Let's see what we have for DC. Batman Troika, skip. Absolute Scarlet. If you're into the Brian Michael Bendis book, it's the Absolute Scarlet. So it's got some gorgeous artwork, but that's a pass for me. Let's see, nothing in there. Let's look at February. So the first week of February, we have Ven Omnibus Volume 2. That's a hard one for me, because I have the first one, and so the second one has, oh my god, a bunch of miniseries, like The Sinner Takes All volume issues 1 through 5, Along Came a Spider 1 through 4, The Hunted 1 through 3, The Hunger 1 through 3, Tooth and Claw, which I actually dug that, 1, 2, and 3, Venom on Trial 1 through 3. License to Kill, Seed of Darkness, -1. Or then, yeah, that's the -1 issues. Sign of the Boss, what the hell is that? 1 and 2. Spider-Man Venom Agenda, the finale, Uncanny Origins 7, and then material from the Spider-Man Super Special and Super Special Venom Super Special. The reason I say it's a hard pass for me, because I have the first one, and I think that's the stuff that I really like. This is the stuff that's the Venom series just kind of went downhill, and a lot of it I have never read. So I get, it could be good. And the only reason I would get this is if they announce a Volume 3 collecting the Rick Remender run, and eventually maybe Donny Cates run, or even Daniel Way's run. But that's got some great artwork. That's the only way I would get that. But for now, it's a pass. Let's see what else comes out that week. Punisher Epic Collection, Kingpin Rules. Yes, that is a buy for me. That has artwork from Whilce Portacio, and I think Mike Baron and Carl Potts were the main storytellers in that run. But Whilce Portacio, Eric Larson, and Mark Texeira, yeah, that's a yes. And that's collecting Punisher issues 11 through 25 and annuals 1 through 2. And I've got the first one, I think, or maybe I've got the War Journal Classic, whatever it's called. But I need to pick that up. And if you're interested, if you missed out on the Conan stuff, the original Colossal Conan that came out from Dark Horse, Marvel's starting to do their Epic books, and the first one comes out that same week. And that has that Kurt Busiek run. And it's got issues 1 through 19, and it's called Conan Chronicles Epic Collection Trade Paperback, Darksome Hills. Somebody else is excited about Conan. Let me get done with this, and then we'll go outside, man. Why are you trying to embarrass me in front of all these people? Then we've got, let's see, same week, DC, we've got Aquaman, Suicide Squad, Sink Atlantis. No, that's a pass. A lot of passes at DC. Yeah, I don't see anything else that week for me, anyway. And then the day before Valentine's Day, February 13th, we've got the Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, A Hero is Born omnibus. Now, that one's got 2 covers. The standard cover, which is done by Amanda Connor, and then it's got the John Romita cover, I believe, is who does the DM cover of that series. Now, this holds all the stuff from the Miss Marvel years by Chris Claremont, when he was the original writer on the run. And it has issues 1 through 23, the Marvel team-up 61 and 62, and 76 and 77, Defenders 57, Marvel 2 and 1 51, Avengers 200, and Annual 10. And then some material from Avengers 197 to 199. That is, again, coming out in 2 different covers. So the Rec Market cover, which is exclusively like comic book stores and places like that. And then the standard edition, which everybody else will get, like Amazon and Barnes & Noble. So that's, I'm definitely getting that. Let's see. So I thought about this one here for a while. This is the Hulk, the Dogs of War. I have the trade paperback, but this is a big hardcover. It's $75 retail price. And it has Incredible Hulk issues 12 through 33, annuals 2000 and 2001. The half issue, the Century Hulk one, because that was Peter Jenkins, Hulk Smash 1 and 2, and Startling Stories Banner 1 through 4. So I hope they decide to collect the initial 1 through 11. This is after the Heroes Return era, so they revamped the numbering system. Don't worry, they keep going back and forth. But yeah, they'll probably get that one. That's $75. And most of the stuff, by the way, I usually get at in-stock trades, or I get at Amazon, or if a comic book shop around here cuts me a deal, or Barnes & Noble sometimes, cheap graphic novels, or Tales of Wonder. Those are usually my places that I go to either pre-order, because I do pre-order at DCBS, because they do have 50% off. Thing is, you just have to pay months ahead of time for that stuff. And I thought about getting the Excalibur Epic Collection. This is the Girls' School from Heck. I think this is going to be Volume 3. I already have the custom bounds of those, but I don't know. I'm also a weird completist, and I picked that up, the first Epic collection of that. So this collects the little one-shot, the Weird War 3, the Possession, and Heir Apparent, which are all little one-shots. Sensational She-Hulk 26, and material from Marvel Comics Present 75. That's why I kind of want these, because they have all these little extra issues I didn't put in my custom bind. And then issues 31 and through 41 of the Chris Claremont. No, actually, no, this has stuff past the Chris Claremont stuff, too. So this is I think it's Scott Lobdell, actually, that wrote some of those. And let's see, what do we have from DC? DC has one big omnibus that I'm going to get that week, even though it's not my favorite story. It's the Phil Jimenez Wonder Woman omnibus. So this collects issues 164 through 188, which were previously released in the Paradise Lost and Paradise Found trade paperbacks. Also collects our Worlds at War #1, the DC special, The Return of Donna Troy 1 through 4, which is kind of weird to include in here. I know that he wrote and drew those as well, but those took place way, way, way after the first run. And Wonder Woman Secret Files 2 and 3. It's $75. I wish they would do a William Messner Loeb's omnibus, honestly. He was one of my favorite writers and very, very underrated on Wonder Woman. So, I don't know, maybe one day we'll get that. Definitely going to pick up that Batman Caped Crusader Volume 2. This is the stuff that's post-crisis that DC is finally slowly starting to collect. So this collects Batman 433 to 444, so it's after year 1. And Batman Annual 13. I own the first one of that, the Caped Crusader and the Dark Knight, both volumes 1 and 2 of that. Let's see what else we're going to get that week. EC Archives, Piracy, no. And, okay, so let's move on to the next week, February 20th. That week, let's see from Marvel. Uncanny X-Men by Kieran Gillen. If you haven't picked that up, that's the perfect way to get it. I will be picking up the Cable and X-Force after Onslaught trade paperback. That's plugging in that hole. If you want to check out the Cable Comprehensive Reading Order, I can link that here. But this collects Cable 32 through 39, X-Force 57 through 61, Incredible Hulk 444, X-Man 18 through 19, and X-Force Cable Annual 96. So really excited to get that book. Skipping on that book. Okay, so this might be the biggest book I'm the most excited about. It's from DC, and it is that week of the 20th, and that is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe omnibus. I've read half of the stuff in here. It's a big damn book, but it's also $150. It's the price of Infinite Crisis. But it's got, let's see, DC Comics Present 47, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 1 through 6, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 1 through 19, which is the other series because they kept revamping it. He-Man the Eternity War 1 through 15, DC Universe versus the Masters of the Universe 1 through 6, He-Man Thundercats 1 through 6, which I never got to read that, and the Master of the Universe specials, The Origin of He-Man, The Origin of Skeletor, and The Origin of Hordak. I am so pumped for this one. This is one that I'm probably the most, well, I don't know. This and there's a Marvel omnibus that I'm really excited about that I've never got to read. Oh yeah, in the same week, even though I'm not as excited, but look at that beautiful Jim Lee cover. This is Wonder Woman Rebirth Deluxe Edition Volume 3. I talked about this in my DC Rebirth showcase that I did recently. I was trying to remember which, I do so many of these damn videos, I forget which ones I talked about. Okay, so this collects issues 26 through 30 of the Rebirth run, the Steve Trevor #1 issue, Annual 1, and Wonder Woman the 75th Anniversary Special #1. So this is the stuff before the James Robinson run, which I'm really curious to read. This is one that I'm probably going to pass on, but I know a lot of people are excited about. This is the Incal Oversized Deluxe Edition. This holds the entire story, because initially I think they did 3 or 4 oversized, like, gigantic books, and they were out of print and insanely overpriced. This one's $125, but it's got the entire story in oversized format, and I don't know, it's just expensive. It's $125. I'm sure at in-stock trades we might get a discount, making it probably $90 at most, but I love Jodorowsky and I love Mobius, but it's just, I don't know. I say I'm passing, but I may get it later on. And that is it for that week. Let's see, February 27th at Marvel. What do we have here? Here we go. Here's a big one at Marvel. I've only read the first 12 issues of this, so I'm excited to keep reading the rest in an omnibus format. And that is the Star Wars by Jason Aaron omnibus, Volume 1, or whatever they decide to call it. They may drop the Volume 1. This collects Star Wars 1 through 37, Vader Down, the Darth Vader 13 through 15, which is the Vader Down crossover event, the Screaming Citadel, Star Wars Dr. Aphra 7 through 8, and Star Wars Annual 1 through 3. Someone else is excited about Star Wars, so this is a must, huh? Okay, I'll be picking that up for sure. Not the one I was talking about, though. Alright, give me that. Okay, someone was in a hurry to go outside. I didn't need a mess down here, so... but that's good. I needed a little break because I was trying to see what else I was going to get this week. So again, February 27th, Mr. and Mrs. X. I'll probably wait and see what Marvel does with that series eventually. I'm hoping that all of these eventually get collected in hardcover, but I know it's wishful thinking on my part. Or if anything, I can pick them up in really discounted prices at shows, which is what I try to do with these new X-Men series, because they're kind of hit and miss, and unfortunately a lot more miss lately. Mine MGMT is getting an omnibus, but I just purchased those through the Facebook group. And those are all soft cover, so... oh man, I forgot about this one. Berserk Deluxe Edition Volume 1. I have been waiting a long time. Ever since I went to Europe and I saw those deluxe hardcovers over there. This is going to be leather bound, it's going to be oversized, and it collects volumes 1, 2, and 3. Oh, damn. It's my favorite manga. I have already pre-ordered it day one, so... You know what? That is probably the one that I'm most excited about. I take back anything I said earlier. I forgot that it was coming out that next month. It is freaking awesome. If you've never read it, ignore Volume 1. When he gets to kicking in Volume 2 and 3, that's what you need to... That's what I'm talking about, man. Berserk. I'll probably do an overview of that here. Let's see. Now, let's move on to March. March 6th, we have Earth X Trilogy Omnibus Omega. So there's only 2 Omnis. Don't let that title fool you. It's ridiculous. But this collects the second half of the Earth X Trilogy by Alex Ross and Jim Kruger, Jean-Paul de Leon. So this collects Paradise X Heralds 1 through 3, Paradise X 0 through 12, Zen Devils Special Edition Paradise X, Ragnarok 1 through 2, Nighthawk 1 through 3. This one's a little cheaper. I think the first one was $125. This one's $100. So I'll be picking that up. Jason Aaron, I'm waiting for a hardcover because that's Volume 2. X-Men Red, X-Men Black, X-Men Red Volume 2. That's probably one of my favorite series, but like I said, I'll wait to see how those are collected later on. Wolverine Epic Collection. This is definitely one I'm going to get. This should be Volume 3. This is called Back to the Basics, and that's got that awesome Jim Lee cover that if you ever played the Nintendo game, they used it for the Nintendo cartridge as well. It has issues 17 through 30, and then it's got the Wolverine, Nick Fury, the Scorpion Connection, that original graphic novel, and the Jungle Adventure, which was the other original graphic novel. Was that one with Mignola, or was that Andy Kubert? I can't recall. But it's got John Byrne, did most of the writing on this, Archie Goodwin as well. And let's move on to DC. What is going on that week? Okay, here's one I'm excited about, but also broke my heart because I waited years for Promethea. This is the 20th Anniversary Deluxe Edition Volume 1. So yeah, I'll be getting this. There's going to be 3 of them. I missed out on the Absolutes because... Actually, I didn't miss out. I waited and waited to get the Absolutes because DC for years were saying that they were going to release an omnibus with all 32 issues included in like a long format. So it's going to be $150. The artist, J.H. Williams, was like, yes, it's coming. And then eventually he was like, no, they decided to cancel it. So that sucks, but I'll be getting that hardcover so I can actually own it now. Moving on to March 13th, the day before my birthday. Let's see, at Marvel, we've got Iron Man Epic Collection, The Return of Ghost. Little late to be cashing in on the movie from last year, Ant-Man, but whatever. More epic. That's awesome. So I mainly get my Iron Man, and it's got issues 233 to 244, the Iron Man Crash, Marvel Fanfare 22 and 23, and 44. So, man, I love the Epic Collections. As long as they don't get cheap on me, like making them, rather. Here's another book right at Marvel. It's the Fantastic Four Complete Collection, one that I've talked about on the show before. Volume 1, Heroes Return. So it's the first set of those Heroes Return books, right after the little Heroes Return miniseries. It's issues 1 through 15. This is stuff that has never been collected before in trade paperback format. I'm very excited about this. It's not called Epic, so I guess choose a damn format, Marvel. Come on. So as well as those first 15 issues, it has the half issue and annual 98 in Iron Man 14, which I don't think that was a crossover. I thought they just showed up in that. So that's a definite buy for me. Then we got Gambit, Thieves World. That's what it is. So this is stuff that's been previously collected in 2 trades and was out of print for years. This collects the Gambit series 1 through 12 it's John Layman that wrote that, and Georges Genti drew the art on it. He's the guy from Weapon X. He's the guy that did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. and it's got material from X-Men Unlimited #3, not the original X-Men Unlimited, but the 2004 series. Moving on to DC. One of the books I'm double dipping on because I already have the Absolute version and I have a couple of these trades. It's the Batman Hush Saga Omnibus. Hell yeah. Look at that awesome Jim Lee cover. So it's got the original Hush story, which is told by Jeff Loeb, drawn by Jim Lee, and it's got issue 608 through 619. It's got issue 685, which is one of those villain issues, I think. Batman Gotham Knights 50 to 55, which is the Hush Returns storyline in the beginning of it and the aftermath, and that takes place at an odd time because it takes place like right between War Games and War Drums. Gotham Knights issue 60 through 71, which is the post-war game stuff, and 73 and 74, which finishes out that run. Then it's got the Paul Dini stories from Detective Comics 846 through 850 and 852, and Streets of Gotham 1 through 4, issues 14, 16 through 21, and stories from Villain Secret Files 1 and Wizard #0. It's $125, by the way. So, it's a pricey one. Let's see, BPRD, Hell on Earth Volume 5. Yes, this should finish it out, actually. This is the last Hell on Earth stories. This issue contains volumes 12 through 13 and 15 because Volume 14 was included in the hardcover Volume 4. So, no need to double dip there. Alright, now we got Avengers.
That's me. Can you buzz me in?
Not the movie Avengers. Comic Avengers. So, we've got the Omnibus Volume 4, which has the Arthur Adams, which is the variant version, which you'll find at, like I said, everywhere. Barnes & Noble, it's a standard edition, Amazon. And then you've got the original DM version, which I believe that's the Neil Adams cover. And what does this collect? This is Avengers Volume 3. Or, I'm sorry, Volume 4. Collecting 89 through 119 and Daredevil 99 and Defenders 8 through 11. So it's got the Avengers Defenders War and it's got the Kree Skrull War. Awesome. That's what I wanted out of this. A lot of stuff by Roy Thomas, Neil Adams, awesome artwork. So very excited about that. And, oh, hell yeah, Savage Sword of Conan. Stuff that I've never read that I'm excited about. This is the... Unfortunately, I don't think the Omnibus is not going to be in oversized format. It's going to be just the standard omnibus size. The magazine that originally came out was oversized, but they were all black and white. These are more edgier than the original Marvel comics that has come out, that Conan omnibus that has come out. So this is the Savage Sword of Conan, collecting Savage Sword of Conan 1 through 12, Savage Tales 1 through 5, and a special number 1. And it's definitely rated mature. Now that one has 2 covers. It's got a cover by, who is it, Gabriel Del Otto, and it's got the Boris Vallejo cover. Vallejo, however you say it. So, I'm happy with both of those. I can go for either one, unlike the John Cassidy or the Barry Windsor Smith cover. I had to get the Barry Windsor Smith cover. Man, that's going to be an expensive week, because then we have, let's see, the Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. This is supposed to be a hardcover. Yeah, it's $40, collecting Uncanny X-Men 1 through 10. That's a new series. Even though it's not that good, it's still X-Men, so I'm going to buy it. This is X-Men Disassembled. So I'll probably be picking that up. Damn, this is going to be an expensive week. Then we have the Captain America Epic Collection, Superior Stratagem. And that collects Captain America 387 through 397, and then the Adventures of Captain America 1 through 4. I think those are written by Fabian Nicieza, the miniseries. The ongoing is Mark Grunwald. Damn it. X-Men Onslaught Aftermath. Man, this is going to be really expensive. Okay, so then we've got X-Men Onslaught Aftermath. I just wish they just announced Omnis for all this, but whatever. It collects Uncanny X-Men 338 through 340, annual 96 and 97, X-Men 58 to 61, annual 97, X-Men Unlimited 12 through 14, and X-Factor number 130. I hope there's nothing else that week. Damn it, there is. Okay, nothing from DC, at least for me. Maybe you guys. But that week on the 20th, Harrow County Library Edition Volume 2. I started reading the first one, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a Cullen Bunn book by Dark Horse. So I'm really digging it, and this must be the second year. So hopefully that will not go out of print quick, because the first one did, and now it's back in print. So that's it for that week. I think they're with my savings. And now we've got March 27th, which has this weird Thanos Wars Infinity Origin Omnibus. I'm going to pass on. I'm not a big fan of books like this. Because they're all over the place. You know, it's collecting Iron Man 55, Captain Marvel 25 through 34. That one, by the way, also has 2 covers. Marvel Feature 12, Avengers 125, Strange Tales 178 through 181, Warlock 9 through 15, Marvel Team Up 55, Avengers Annual 7, Marvel 2-in-1 Annual 2, Marvel Graphic Novel 1, and material from Daredevil 105, and Logan's Run number 6. So this stuff has previously been collected already in the Guardians of the Galaxy solo omnibus. I think they're just cashing in on that Thanos name, but whatever. Let me know if you're getting it, though. Because if you don't have the Guardians solo omnibus and you're interested in this material, then this is perfect for you. I believe that one has a retail price of $100, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's $100. Let's go on to DC. Sandman Omnibus Volume 3. I'm passing on because I own the Absolutes, but that's a good way of getting it. Batgirl Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 2. Pass. New Teen Titans Omnibus Volume 4. I'm envious of you guys getting it, but I've got mine custom bound, so maybe one day I'll go back and double dip. And that is it. And the only other book I see on here that I may get, and it's a big maybe because I do not want to dive into these books, it's the Don Rosa Life and Times of Uncle Scrooge. Or not, the Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck, sorry. How dare I. Volume 2, Artist Edition. And I've seen the first one. It's beautiful, but they're $150. But I don't know. I just can't, because I know if I get the first volume, I'll get the second volume, then I'm like, okay, that's it. I'll just collect the Duck books, but also like the John Byrne stuff, so I want to get that X-Men book, so I can't do it. I can't dive into that, because I know I have a very addicting personality. But that's it for me. I'd love to know what you guys are going to get for this quarter, and what you've already picked up in January. I'm still going to do my hauls and stuff, and I'll probably do this again in beginning of April, instead of waiting halfway through the month. But let me know what you thought of this segment. Let me know if you guys want to do it live. I'd love to chat with you guys to know what you're picking up and maybe look through the list with you all. But again, this was Omar. So as my dear co-host Amanda says, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint. And no, I did not forget my dog outside. He reminded me.